Hey guys, I hope you're really good for the sub. Remember to behave. Make sure that you are listening, doing what they say, and please, please, please wear your mask correctly. As you know, wearing the mask correctly prevents quarantining. Our goal with mask wearing, prevent quarantining. If you wear the mask, you have to quarantine less if someone gets COVID. Please wear them. Okay, I want to review 5 concepts for your quiz tomorrow. As I'm reviewing the 5 concepts, I'm going to take notes on them in your self-start paper. So right now, go ahead and pull out your self-start paper. You can pause the video while you do so. Anytime you need to pause the video, just pause it so you can go your own pace. First concept that you need to know for tomorrow is unit rate. What is unit rate? Unit rate is the price per one, or the amount for one. It doesn't always have to be price. How do you know what goes on top and what goes on bottom when you're doing unit rate? It will tell you. So the first thing you know is that unit rate is price for one. The second thing you need to know is what goes on top and what goes on bottom. It will tell you. If it says price per pound, price goes on top, pound goes on bottom. If it says miles per hour, miles goes on top, hour goes on bottom. If it says days per scarf, days goes on top, scarf goes on bottom. If it says hashes for elephants, hashes goes on top, elephants goes on bottom. It doesn't have to make sense. Whatever is first goes on top, the per goes on bottom. Every single time. Make sure you get the right thing on top and the right thing on bottom tomorrow. The next big concept I want to talk about is rounding. So our third concept is rounding. How do we know how to round? Here's the big idea. In mathematics, it doesn't matter. In class, you can get 11.8 tacos, you can get 7.3 carrots. Decimals and big numbers are going to come out. If you get a decimal, it doesn't necessarily mean you did it wrong. The rule in this class is round to 2 decimal places, unless it's a story problem. If it is a story problem, then you need to analyze what makes sense. And you have to just think. There's not a hard and fast rule here. So if it's a story problem, you have to think through and say, hey, would it make sense to round up or round down? So if the story problem is about tacos, and you're saying, well, how many tacos can I get for $20? You can't go over that 20, so you're going to round down. If the story problem is how many tacos can I eat in 5 minutes, you might be able to eat a half a taco in 5 minutes, so rounding wouldn't necessarily make sense, depending on if it has to be a whole or a partial one for the contest. If the question is how many tacos can I make in 5 minutes, well, you can't make a half a taco. So in that case, you would round down, because whatever part of the taco you got made in that extra time would not count. As you're looking at the story problem, it's all about, you just have to logic and say, would it make sense? Could I go over this, or does it have to be under it? And you have to reason through. Does a fraction make sense? Does a fraction not make sense? If you're at the store buying stuff, fractions don't make sense very often. You can't buy part of anything. If you're working in your kitchen, you can make part of something. If you are doing time, it kind of varies, because you could work for part of an hour to mow a lawn, but you probably aren't going to get paid for part of an hour to teach school. Like, it's either all of the hour or none of the hour. There's no middle ground there. So just reason through it, use what you know, and decide, do I round up? Do I round down? Do I not round at all? Watch that. Okay, the fourth big idea that I want to talk about is comparisons. Comparisons are all about, is it bigger or smaller? Is it faster or slower? Is it more or less? It's not always going to use the word compare, but it will be implied. When it comes to comparisons, watch for keywords, and then sometimes you're going to want the highest, and sometimes you're going to want the lowest. Again, you just have to read the problem to know. If you're shopping, generally speaking, the lowest price is the best. If you're selling, the highest price is the best. If you are trying to like get the best score, if you're playing golf, the best is the low score. If you're playing basketball, the best is the high score. It really is analyze what is the best according to what you're trying to accomplish. Okay? And the final thing I want you to remember tomorrow is I absolutely believe that you can do it. You've got this. I am 100% convinced you know this stuff for tomorrow. Make sure you do it. Okay? For the rest of the hour, you're going to be playing Jeopardy! There is on your Canvas page where you got this video a link for the Jeopardy! Game. You may play as a table, but keep it quiet and contained. Everybody needs to do every problem. So you can do it. If you get it, everyone gets the points. Nobody gets the points. If you want to play by yourself instead of playing with your table, you can play with your table. If you want to come up with your own set of rules as a table, it is up to you. Everybody at the table needs to do the problem and have the problem written down with work on their paper. I don't care how you play, which rules, game, whatever you play, you can play with only your table. You cannot go to a different table and play the game. It is 100% up to you. If you get done early, you can work on missing work, or you can play the second round of Jeopardy! Game that I listed on Canvas. Missing work, Jeopardy! If you've done both Jeopardy! Games, then you can play Prodigy. You may not be on any other websites. Missing work, Prodigy, after you do both Jeopardy! Games. Well, one Jeopardy! Game, missing work, then the second Jeopardy! Game. Reminder, all light work's due tomorrow. If you've got something in your backpack, it's not done, get it out, get it done, get it turned in. I will have stuff graded. I will be grading tomorrow while my mom's at the doctor's office. Hopefully it will be graded when I come on Friday. And you've got this. I believe in you. Be good, and I'll see you tomorrow.